Welcome to the Appy Fizz Champions of the World, where we'll quiz keen young minds from colleges across India. The subject, cricket's ultimate prize, the World Cup and its stars. Over 200 teams have battled to be here, and 24 of the best will fight it out over the next few weeks to earn the right to be called Champions of the World. Now, please welcome your quizmaster, Kottalgi.
Welcome once again to the Appy Fizz Champions of the World, our national intercollegiate quiz championship that features questions exclusively on cricket's World Cup. And as you'd imagine, there's a lot of cricket lovers in here in our studio today. They're going to fight tooth and nail for the prize. 10,000 rupees for the winners of this round. But if they can make their way through to the final and win, then they get to watch India play in the NatWest series, which is not a bad prize at all. Let's meet the three teams then today, the three colleges that have qualified to come here. First of all, the BMS College of Engineering from Bangalore, represented by Manish, Achuth and Rahul Kottalgi. Manish has interesting heroes, Steve Waugh, Roger Federer. Rahul likes Zulu Klusna for his ability to change things.
For his ability to do things as he sees fit.
As he sees fit, right? And Manish likes Bob Marley, and he's going to do a Bob Marley rendition for us, right? Which is your favorite Bob Marley song?
Buffalo Soldier.
As it happens, that's the only Bob Marley song I know. I've made a confession here and I like it too. Right, let's go on to Jadavpur University from Kolkata. Pushpal Ganguly and Devagnik Dasgupta. Pushkar, you like Ricky Ponting?
Yep.
But there's something very interesting here. You believe that gel in hair is a must.
Yeah.
But I don't see too much on you just now.
Well, that's because we got here in a hurry.
You couldn't carry your gel with you.
I couldn't find time to put some.
But you've got your wits around.
I hope they are
better than gel, I can assure you. Let's go across to Narsi Monji Institute of Management Studies from Mumbai. Tathagat Mukherjee is a fan of Saurav Ganguly and Kapil Dev. And Sunir Chaudhary wants to visit the MCG. Why the MCG?
The best stadium in the world, I suppose.
You think so?
Yep.
Maybe. Why not Eden Gardens?
I think he'll kill me if I say
That's
the right reason.
That's why I said it. But here we are, a bunch of very interesting people. They've come from colleges from around India, and they're set to play the first round today. As usual, it's all limited overs internationals. It's called power play. In power play, photographs start to form on the screen behind me. And as they start to form, teams can go on the buzzer. If they guess the identity, they get 4 runs. And then they get a follow-on question as well, for which they'll get 6 runs. So questions pass on. It's pretty much like in most quizzes. Let's go and join our first cricketer today. Let's see who we've got. Okay, here he comes, and let's see who's first on the buzzer. Narsi Monji.
Alan Donald.
Yes, indeed. I'll have to take the first answer, and luckily for you, the first answer was Alan Donald. If I'd heard Pat Simcox first, you would have got that wrong, but I heard Alan Donald first, so you get your 4 runs. Now, here's a question on Alan Donald for you, which the other 2 teams can attempt as well if they miss it. Other than Warwickshire, which English county did Donald represent? Other than Warwickshire, which English county did Alan Donald represent? Go for it, there's no negatives.
Is it Kent? Kent?
Question passes. Anyone on the buzzer? Jadavpur?
Leicestershire?
Not Leicestershire, Jadavpur. Yes,
Nottinghamshire. Nottinghamshire.
No. He played at New Road. He played for Worcestershire. But the good thing for you, Narsi Monji, is you're in the lead with 4 runs. None of the others scored, so we can go back to power play, and let's see if you can continue your streak. Here we go. Yes, Jadavpur.
That's Harbhajan Singh.
That's Harbhajan Singh. Not Belinda Clark. No. No, question passes. Does anyone else want to go for the buzzer? Okay, we go on. Right, here we go. There's a little bit more there. Yes, BMS.
Ashley Giles.
Yes, you got it just as it opened. That, in fact, was the Ashley Giles. And as you can see, Jadavpur, a little different from Harbhajan in the way he looks. But you went for the gamble. Now, BMS, here's your question. In the Cape Town test against South Africa in 2004-05, what landmark did Ashley Giles achieve? Incredibly, in the same game as Andrew Flintoff did. In the Cape Town test against South Africa in 2004-05, what landmark did Ashley Giles achieve? Incredibly, in the same game as Andrew Flintoff did. BMS.
Go for that.
Okay, he took 100 wickets, 100 test wickets, same time as Andrew Flintoff did.
I'll have to let that pass. Narsi Monji.
the same match where both of them achieved a double of 100 wickets and 1,000 runs.
Just in time. A double of 1,000 runs and 100 wickets. BMS, you were there but not quite. A double of 1,000 runs and 100 wickets. So you get 4 extra runs, carryover runs, Narsimonji. Okay, we've got one more cricketer coming up. We're down with 2. We've got a third coming up on our screens. And let's see who this is. Here we go. Yes, on the buzzer, Narsimonji.
Shoaib Akhtar.
No, it isn't Shoaib Akhtar. We've got some gamblers in here. Let's go on and complete the animation. Here we go. Yes, Jadavpur.
That is Inzamamul Haq.
I'll tell you what, if I was Inzamamul Haq's mother or Shoaib Akhtar's mother, I couldn't tell on that much. But it isn't. Now, BMS, do you want to go for it or do you want to see the whole thing? You can now. You have the luxury of doing that. Let's go on. Right, BMS.
Azhar Mahmood.
Of course it is Azhar Mahmood. 2 teams gambled. You got it right. You get your 4 runs. Now, your chance to complete the double, which is where you came unstuck last time. Let's see if you can score 6 on this one. In Azhar Mahmood's maiden test in Rawalpindi in 1997, which other debutant scored a century?
2 in the same team. That's right. Okay. Go for that.
Now, you giving me an answer?
Good. Wajahutullah Wasti.
Question passes. Let's see who's the buzzer first. Jadavpur.
Ali Naqvi.
Yes, it was Ali Naqvi. Yes. A lot of players played for Pakistan, then you didn't hear too much of afterward. Wajahutullah Wasti was one of them, and Ali Naqvi it was in this case though. Let's go around. We've got 3 more cricketers. It's really hotting up. Points emerging from everywhere. Let's see, meet cricketer number 4. Here we go. Right, on the buzzers. Yes, BMS.
Andrew Caddick.
Yes. And you got it because it opened on the year, didn't you? The most recognizable years in the game. Andrew Caddick will get you 4 runs and the opportunity to score another 6. If Andy Caddick played for the country he was born in, which side would he represent?
Very sure. National side or one? Is it the national side?
Yes.
New Zealand.
Yes, it is New Zealand. Andrew Caddick was born in New Zealand. Now you've done the conversion. Well done, BMS. They're looking pretty good on those photographs, aren't they? I love the Shoaib Akhtar and the Inzamam bit there. Now come on, NMIMS. Come on, Jadavpur. Let's see if we can pick this one up. Here we go. Right, let's see who's going first on this one. Yes, Jadavpur.
Is it Mohammad Ishaq?
Mohammad Ishaq.
Ah, shit.
No, I make a profession out of cricket, but I'll struggle with that one. Yes, Narsimonji.
Chris Gayle.
Chris Gayle, not Bob Marley. It is Chris Gayle. Well done. It is, in fact, Chris Gayle. Narsimonji, that was a stunner. Can you jive like him? Oh, well done. Okay, here we go. Here's your question on Chris Gayle. Chris Gayle's more famous for his batting. But against which country has he taken a 5-wicket haul, a spell of 5 for 46 at St. George's, Grenada in 2002-03? More famous for his batting, against whom has Gayle taken 5 for 46 at St. George's, Grenada in 2002-03? Which country?
Is it Bangladesh?
Question passes. Let's see who hit the buzzer first. BMS did.
New Zealand.
No, it wasn't New Zealand. Jadavpur.
India.
No, I'm afraid not India. A lot of bowlers get their best spells against India. The answer, in fact, was Australia. But 5 for 46 against Australia. Okay, let's go on. Just one more. Here we go. Let's see who gets it first. Here we go. Okay, still forming. People suddenly starting to play safe. Yes, first on the buzzer were BMS Bangalore.
Inzamamul Haq.
No, it isn't Inzamamul Haq. Someone else went for the buzzer. Jadavpur.
Harshal Gibbs.
It is not Herschel Gibbs as well. Narsimonji, yes, you did hit the buzzer as well.
Saurav Ganguly.
Yes, it is Saurav Ganguly. Jadavpur, you're going to worry about that one, aren't you? It is, in fact, Saurav Ganguly. You can get 6 runs if you get this right. Otherwise, carryover teams have options of winning 4. Connect Saurav Ganguly with Harry Graham, John Hampshire, and Andrew Strauss. Connect Saurav Ganguly with Harry Graham, John Hampshire, and Andrew Strauss. Go on.
Did they all play for Lancashire?
Question passes. This time first on the buzzer were BMS.
They all made a debut test century at Lord's.
Yes, they did. They all made a debut test century at Lord's. which Sourav Ganguly achieved in such style on that tour of England in 1996. The same game, of course, in which Rahul Dravid made 95. Lots of action, lots of emotion as well. Let's take a look at the scores. Jadavpur University have made a cautious beginning. They're on 6 runs at this stage. In second place, Narsimhoji Institute of Management Studies from Mumbai on 18. But streaking ahead and doing seriously well in the power play are the BMS College of Engineering from Bangalore with 24 points. So much to play for. All I'd like to tell Jadavpur University is that in an earlier round, NIT from Tiruchirappalli scored only 6 in this round and went on to win. So there's a lot that can happen from here on. Indeed, that's where we are headed next. We're going to go into the middle overs. That's after the break. Welcome back to the Happy Fizz Champions of the World contest, our intercollegiate quiz purely on matters concerning Cricket's World Cup. We've got off to quite a start here with power play. BMS College from Bangalore in particular enjoying themselves. Now let's see if they can keep going in our next section, which is called middle overs. In middle overs, a grid will appear on the screen behind me with one entry for each of the 8 World Cups. Teams have to select the World Cup they're most confident about and answer questions based on it. 6 runs if they get it right, 4 for the carryovers if someone else gets the answer right. And we're going to start with BMS College of Engineering from Bangalore. Here's the grid coming up.
With us, sir.
And you've got the whole slate.
83 will go. Seriously.
Which are you most confident of?
1983.
1983 World Cup. Yes, your question on the 1983 World Cup is actually being asked by somebody from your city.
In 1983, I had a reasonably good wicket-keeping stint. In the finals, I got hold of a West Indian batsman. Which batsman was that?
Which batsman, one victim in the 1983 World Cup final?
Right-hander, okay.
Larry Gomes.
Question passes. Let's see who's first on the buzzer this time. Jadavpur University.
Clive Lloyd,
Not Clive Lloyd. He was Scott at cover, wasn't he?
Desmond Haynes,
Not Desmond Haynes either. The answer was Sheikh Fawd Ahmal Baqus. Sheikh Fawd Ahmal Baqus was the answer. And so we stay where we are. Let's go across to Jadavpur University, Kolkata, who can do with the points, I suspect. Here's our grid once again for them to choose the World Cup from.
We'll go for 2003.
We'll go for 2003 and we'll give you a question from 2003. Your question on the 2003 World Cup comes off a video screen as well. Take a look and tell me the name of the batsman you see who featured in the 2003 World Cup for his side. I want you to tell me the name of the batsman who featured for his team in the 2003 World Cup. Who was the batsman?
Dion Ibrahim.
Yes, then you got your points. You got 6 of that, Jadavpur University, Kolkata. Is that the start of the comeback?
I hope so. Hopefully, sir.
Maybe. I think it all depends on you.
Yeah.
Let's go across to Narsimhoji Institute of Management Studies and your chance to catch up with BMS College of Engineering as well. Let's return to our grid. 83 gone, 2003 gone. What's your choice?
1975 England.
1975. Okay, here we go. Your question on the 1975 World Cup is a photograph. Take a look at the photograph. Now, you obviously know who that is. Which player who has worn India colours is named after this gentleman? I want which player who has worn India colours is named after this gentleman?
Rohan Gavaskar.
And the gentleman, of course,
Rohan Kanhai.
is the great Rohan Kanhai. Rohan Gavaskar was named after him. In fact, he was named after quite a few cricketers. He was Rohan Jai Vishwa Gavaskar. Right, so you got your points, you got your marks, you're ready. Now, BMS College of Engineering, there's a tie at the moment. And it's up to you now to score a big one here. Here we go. Still lots of options there.
79.
1979 tends to be, for some reason, the forgotten World Cup. 1979. Here's your question. Against which opposition did England win a match by 8 wickets in 13.5 overs?
Canada.
Yes, you got your 6 runs. Well done, and you're back in the lead. But the others have a question in hand. It was, in fact, Canada were dismissed for 45 in the World Cup. It was record and limited over the internationals for a very long time. Now, Jadavpur University, you need to get your 6er here. And we'll give you the choice
We'll go for 99.
We'll go for the 1999 World Cup. Here it is. Let's take a look. It comes off our video screen. All you need to do is identify the bowler. Here we go. As we said there's lots and lots of clues. Just keep looking around. You should really have no problem with it. I'd like you to be absolutely certain, though. Jadavpur University, Kolkata. The bowler is?
Rion King.
Indeed, it is Rion King, and that's not a bad middle overs round for you at all. Right, Narsimonji, everyone's starting to put a bit of pressure on you. You need to get your sixers to make it a really close contest going into our final round. And you have a few World Cups to choose from as well.
1996, the Subcontinent World Cup.
1996 on the subcontinent. How old were you then? 10 years ago?
10 years less, 14.
10 years less. You know, I'd never have known. Okay, here's your question from 1996. Right, it's a longish question, so listen to it very carefully. In this edition of the World Cup, which was 1996, the opening match of Group A was played in Hyderabad, in India, of course. There were two players with identical last names playing on opposing teams. Both are opening batsmen. The one batted in the middle order that day. I want the names of the two batsmen. The opening match was played in Hyderabad. There were two players with identical last names playing on opposing teams. Both opening batsmen. The one played in the middle order. Essentially, you need to get the last name and you'll get both of them. Narsimonji, 1996 World Cup. The longer you take, the more opportunity you're giving the others to get carryover runs. No? Okay, question passes. And let's use first on the buzzer. Jadavpur.
Neil Smith and Robin Smith.
No. Question passes.
Smith. Smith is his name, right?
BMS.
Taylor.
He doesn't want you to give the answer.
Mark Taylor and Peter
Taylor.
Taylor. is
Basically
his name.
Taylor.
But both play for Australia. They played in opposing teams. Opening batsman for West Indies was Sherwin Campbell. And for Zimbabwe, therefore, was Alistair Campbell. Sherwin Campbell and Alistair Campbell. Tough one on Narsimonji Institute of Management Studies, and that means they dropped runs, but then in their favor, nobody else got it right, so no carryover marks either. Let's take a look at the scores at the end of that round. Making a pretty strong comeback at Jadavpur University from Kolkata. They're on 18 at the moment. Narsimonji Institute of Management Studies just one stroke away from BMS. They're on 24, holding the fort, but I dare say only just are the BMS College of Engineering from Bangalore with 30 runs. So little separating these teams. As we all know, as you go into the last round, lots can change from here on. Our last round is called Slog Overs, and we're there after the break. Welcome back to the AfriFizz Champions of the World series. The best colleges in India, and today we're going to discover which of the three fine teams we have here is going to go through to the next round. Remember, if they win today, they get a prize of 10,000 rupees. But should they win the next one and the final, they get to watch India play in the NatWest series in England. So there's lots to play for as we head into Slog Overs. In Slog Overs, teams are offered 4s and 6s, which means if they get their answers right, they get either 4 runs or 6 runs. Carryover points fetch 2 or 4, and we're going to go in descending order of scores, and that means we're going to start with BMS College of Engineering, Bangalore. Here's your 4. Remember, if you don't get it, then the carryover runs are 2. Here's your first question. The 2007 edition of the World Cup will see more teams than any other prior edition. How many teams?
16.
16.
Yes, indeed. You've got your boundary. That takes you up to 34, doesn't it? Now, Narsimonji, you really have no option but to hit this boundary. Maybe it'll be a nice, slow, long hop. Remember, there can always be fielders at deep mid-wicket, so hit this carefully. South Africa's return from apartheid in 1992 had a non-white cricketer making his debut for the team, thus making him achiever first. Who are we talking about?
Omar Hendry.
Yes, indeed, it was Omar Hendry, so you've kept the difference alive. Just 6 runs the difference between BMS College and Narsimonji. And now Jadavpur have no choice but to go for this one. You're not getting the carryovers, you've got to hit your own. Here's yours. In which stadium, where an additional playing condition has to be applied for every game, did India take on an associate member in one of the World Cup matches of 2003? In which stadium, obviously in South Africa, where an additional playing condition has to be applied for every game, did India take on an associate member in the World Cup of 2003? Which stadium are we talking about? Jadavpur University. Which town, which stadium?
It's Boland Park.
Question passes. Let's use first on the buzzer. BMS were?
Peter Maritzburg.
And what a good answer it was. Peter Maritzburg, where India played Namibia. And that means you get a bonus 2 runs. And now we get into our last set of questions. There's 6s at stake here. 6 runs for the team that gets its answer correct. 4 for the carryover. There could be lots of runs at stake here. BMS, if you hit this one, you're laughing, aren't you? If you hit this one. Here's your question. Which Chennai-born cricketer was featured in domestic cricket for Himachal Pradesh, Punjab, Rajasthan, Tamil Nadu and Tripura was part of India's 1996 World Cup team?
Ashish Kapoor. Sure. Damn sure.
Ashish Kapoor.
Oh my God.
You certain?
Yeah.
Why?
He is a hopper. He's played for many states. So.
Ashish Kapoor is right. In fact, playing for Tamil Nadu this year. Ashish Kapoor is absolutely right. Lovely bowling action. Good off spinner. Let's go on to Narsimonji Institute of Management Studies for your 6er. And I hope you can end in style. Here is your 6er. In India's inaugural World Cup match, the 7th of June, 1975, who top scored for India with 37 runs? Who top scored for India with 37 runs?
Is it Abid Ali?
Question passes. First on the buzzer are BMS.
Dilip Vengsarkar.
Question passes. Go for it as well.
Vishwanath.
Yes, GR Vishwanath. Jadavpur showing the class at the end, picking up an extra 4 runs. Right, your 6er, Jadavpur. Here we go. The opening game of the 1992 World Cup between the 2 host teams. The first World Cup game with a white ball and coloured clothing saw 2 batsmen score exactly 100. Who were they? 2 batsmen scored exactly 100. The opening game of the 1992 World Cup between the 2 host teams. Also the first with a white ball and coloured clothing. The 2 batsmen who scored exactly 100 were?
Martin Crowe and David Boone.
Yes, indeed they were. What a good way to finish. Jadavpur University, Kolkata. The answer was Martin Crowe and David Boone, and of course set off New Zealand's wonderful run in the tournament. Right, here we are then. Let's take a look at the points table. Here we go. So that late surge, not quite enough for Jadavpur University from Kolkata, who did very well to finish on 28. Narsimonji ran BMS close for a while, but they finished with 28 as well. Well done, Narsimonji from Mumbai. But our winners today and the best team on display today were the BMS College of Engineering from Bangalore with 42. Well done. And it's time for me, therefore, to make a little presentation. So why don't all of you come round and join me? Well done. Well done. Well done. Right, here we are then with our champions. And that's what they get. A prize of 10,000 rupees. Keep that with you. You've done well to deserve it. So then, winners of this round, the BMS College of Engineering from Bangalore, they go through to the next round. If they can win one more, they're in the final, just 1 shot away from watching India play in the NatWest series in England. Who knows? We'll wait and see. Lots more coming up on the Appy Fizz Champions of the World.